What up, cave creatures? Derek here with Matt from Brave New World.
What's up, everyone?
Brave New World is going to be part of the Bailout Project. Brave New World is, how do you describe yourself, Matt, to new listeners?
Just old school, kind of like hardcore punk, a little bit of thrash metal, definitely like 80s, 90s influenced bands, you know, East Coast influence, Suicidal Tendencies, Biohazard, those type of bands are big influences. Blood for Blood, Integrity, that's the type of stuff.
Believe the mind's lies, run from reality. At the end of my rope, the wind inside, blur as I can't see. Wasting away a day, but a tragedy. I try to sleep to escape, but never sleep to memory. Feeling like death, I think it's time will take me out with a cruel fatality. Right now, never
I've listened to your new album that just came out. What was it, a week ago or so? Listened to it a couple times, and
Yeah, we got the CD in a couple weeks ago. So yeah, we're just selling the CDs right now, like exclusively, like on our Facebook, which is Brave New World TN, because we're from Tennessee, and there's probably like a million Brave New Worlds. So we put the state in there, help people find us. But
right on. Yeah, you're in Tennessee now, but we actually we met through music in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So we do have roots together going back to Fredericksburg, where the
yeah,
film is all going to take place in Fredericksburg. All the locations are going to be in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It's
yeah,
kind of a unique story in terms of friendships throughout my life. Uh,
yeah, man.
you were working at an
It's
auto
like
store,
yeah,
and I rolled
Grease
through. Yeah, yeah, Grease Monkey. I wasn't going to say the name, but you threw it out there, so
Monkey. Grease Monkey. It's hilarious. It's
that's
still
right.
open.
Rolled through Grease Monkey and had Isham Closed Casket CD on the passenger seat, and uh,
Yeah, you rolled in. It was like a red truck. You had like a bunch of like band stickers, like decals, and I was like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And yeah, I saw the CD, and yeah, that's, struck a conversation with you, and we it was like
and then
it's like
you.
brothers.
It was very
We just
unique. You know, a lot of people probably don't even know who Isham is. I mean, he was really
yeah,
revolutionary in the Detroit hip hop scene.
yeah,
Um,
man, the creator of like acid rap, horror rap.
yeah, definitely created a whole subgenre of hip hop that doesn't really get as much respect as it
Part
deserves.
of that grimy Detroit like underground hip hop lore. It's like a lot of just crazy acts from Detroit. Lots of music coming out of Detroit, and he definitely influenced a lot of the Detroit scene. Doesn't
No
get the
doubt,
credit.
no doubt. I remember seeing him at some small club in the '90s. Um, he was opening up for somebody, and he came out. I didn't really know much about him at the time. I think this is what got me into him. I think I may have heard a couple tracks like where he collabed, but he came out um, with two nuns in like dominatrix outfits, like crawling on their hands and knees, and just started like spitting the sickest rhymes I've ever heard. I'm just like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, just never seen anybody put on a stage show like that before.
I just remember hearing him. I don't know, probably like I picked up a Esham CD and like a Nodis CD in like a clearance rack at one of the music stores in Fredericksburg at the mall. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, I bought them, and just the stuff he was saying, like it was shocking to me. Like
Yeah,
I'm like, man, I don't know how I feel about this, but I
yeah,
think
it's
it's
really in the
great.
same ballpark as um,
Like
Ozzy
almost like
gotten
right.
Like,
Like somebody
people
hearing death metal for the first time, you know? It's
exactly, like
like,
people try to blame suicides on him and stuff like that, and he just like took those news stories and used them as hooks in his tracks and stuff. Like, he called his fans suicidalists for a period of time, and he just took it
yeah.
and used it and ran with it. He's very unique.
Yeah, I mean, dude put out, I don't know, like I can't even, he's probably got like 30 records out, you know, if not more. Like he's, I think, been rapping since he was like, what, 14 or 15?
Right? Since like the Booming Words from Hell or whatever the
Yeah.
first album was, the first double disc hip hop album, I think. So he's even got
Yeah.
like some hip hop firsts and stuff out there for being a small time guy that a lot of people probably never even heard of.
Yeah, he, that was what was cool about like the 90s, like, because obviously didn't have streaming, didn't have all the downloading and everything. You know, it didn't happen till later. So like, you're an artist coming up in the early '90s, and you have good material. It's all about people discovering like these underground artists. You know, that was a huge thing. So I mean, dude definitely pushed his music. You know, and like just through Michigan, you know, just through all the, you know, chain stores out there. And, you know, he's, I think, been on record saying he's sold, you know, independently, probably like a 250,000 records, you know. And you think he's making these all by himself. Like, you know, dude's had to have made a lot of money over the years.
Yeah, no doubt. He's pretty much strictly independent as far as I recall. I think he was, I don't know if he was doing his own production or not, but it was like, he teamed up with Mastermind and TNT with the Nodis group, and then his brother was involved in some way,
Yeah,
with
it
Real
was
Life
always
Products or
like,
his.
right. It was like always his label. He get like distribution deals and stuff like that. And I remember like, you know, like early 2000s, he had a deal with like TBT, and that's like they released his whole back catalog.
Okay.
And but the cool thing was like I had like original like Real Life Product CDs. Like they were just, I happened to stumble upon them in a clearance, because when you're a music nerd and you're just always looking for music, and you go to the CD store, you got to go, you know, look through the pile of shitty CDs, you know, looking for that needle in the haystack.
Yeah, it's there's nothing really like it, anymore. Like the '90s, like going and digging through record store crates looking for albums, going to
Yeah.
VHS rental places looking for that hidden gem. It's just the excitement of finding, that hidden gem, or
Yeah,
being
like,
introduced to
right.
something new. Like you're just
Yeah.
oversaturated with the amount of options you have, like with all the streaming
Yeah.
services, or even really the way we met was, it was unique in its own way, but like you just don't really even, people don't even socialize like that anymore. It's a wholly
Today, he'd be like, "The fuck are you?"
yeah, don't talk to me. You need to go through my social media agent first or some shit.
6 feet, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Don't even breathe in my direction.
Right. Poisonous.
So, it's only right, we kind of became friends through music, fans of
Yeah.
music. You didn't really,
I was always
you didn't form a band until you moved to Tennessee, right?
correct. Yeah. So when I moved to Tennessee, me and my brother Brett, who's a bass player in Brave New World, we started just working on music in his bonus room. Like when I moved out there, I was staying with him till like Jeff moved to, from Virginia to Tennessee. He became our drummer, but like it was just originally like me and Brett like conceptualizing songs in his bonus room. And then we had a couple other guys we were working with, drums and bass. And then when Jeff came, we brought Jeff. It's naturally we're gonna bring our brother in to play drums. It was like one of those like childhood things, like, yeah, get old enough and we're adults, we'll all start a metal or hardcore band. And so that was really cool, like that we were able to like like we kind of came in to like Nashville, like hardcore punk community, metal community. 2005, we played our first show at the Muse, which no longer exists. Sadly, it's a Domino's pizza now. Which I wouldn't recommend ordering pizza if you ever went to the Muse bathroom. It was disgusting. uh, so yeah, we got to play. Like, so it was like essentially like I'm basically like a poor man's like CBGB. Like, you know, that's kind of like the Muse in its peak. Like so many cool bands came through there. Like we got to open for Agnostic Front, DRI. We opened for HR and the Dub Agents. It was like his reggae group. Uh, Opened for Green Jello. That was all at the Muse. Like we did a lot of cool shows. I mean, that's just not even, that's like tip of the iceberg. I've forgotten. Like we played so many shows, but yeah, we did that. And Guerrilla Warfare is still an active band, but when I moved, I got married in 2011. Like I moved to the Nashville area from Clarksville, which is like where, you know, the band's located. And like 2012, I started going to school, so I just kind of had to step back. And then Brett transitioned from guitar to vocalist, so he's been the vocalist and kept the band together. You know, formed in 2004. It's 2021, so they've been together like 17 years now. Am I mathing right? Yeah. So yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
awesome. Like,
pretty
do you know
commendable.
anything
Yeah.
about to keep a band together? Like that's really, really difficult to do. So definitely hats off to him for doing that. And I got divorced in 2017. So I don't know, like probably like a year after the divorce, I started like just writing, you know, just because I used to enjoy writing. You know, you get caught up in life, you know, married, having a kid, going to school, working full time. It's kind of like, so like once that ends, you're like, oh, what did I used to enjoy doing? So like writing, like I used to love, like even it's just not necessarily music, just sometimes just creative writing. Like always enjoyed that. So I just started writing again, and then I don't know, like one day, you know, I was living by myself. I was living in this really cool place in Lebanon, like an old barn. It was like converted into an apartment. But I was just hanging out in my barn, and I started going through. I was like, man, I've probably got like 7 or 8 solid songs here, you know, and uh, I went to jam with some guys and went and bought a PA system. Everything, was excited. Like long story short, just really didn't like, wasn't a love connection, you know, wasn't really vibing. So I know Brett knew that I was like, you know, eager to like, you know, possibly like get some kind of music project going again. So he's like, hey, I you know, actually know a few guys that are looking for a vocalist. Let me get you in contact with them. So he introduced me to Thor through social media. We started like having conversations on Messenger. So he sent me music, you know, here's something, you know, kind of what we're doing, which was what became Brave New World. That was the first demo we ever did as a band. They sent me the music. I had everything ready to go, like you know, as far as like the lyrics and concept, general vocal structure. So I just went down there and recorded a very rough demo. You know, it'd been probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years since I had like recorded anything. It was a lot of fun. Like the song was just kind of like what embodies the band, like the message, you know, very just, you know, take the power back, you know, fuck the system.
The classic shit.
And yeah, that actually like the demo was so cool, and I think like it was just so organic and happened so quick. Like it was so natural. I was just like, man, let's, you know, we didn't really have a band name pick. So I was like, I really like Brave New World. It's like, you know, I think that's a good representation of what we are, what kind of like message we're trying to send. Very, you know, very, very much like in alignment with what we're doing. So, you know, that happened. Had a guitar player, Steven, who's now playing guitar in Guerrilla Warfare. He wrote, you know, the guitar tracks for that, and then a second demo we did. He's still active duty military, so he was just kind of out of the picture a lot. So I kind of, you know, hindered writing. So he stepped out just so we could kind of like, you know, continue, not lose like our progress. So what ended up happening was, you know, Thor was our bass player, so he switched to guitar, and he sent me the music for what became Nothing Positive. It's like 1 minute, angry, thrashy, just like, you know, old school kind of hardcore song. And that kind of set the standard for what we were doing. Like, all right, this is cool, you know. So we just kind of like, I don't know, we just kind of worked, you know, from there. Okay, we like that, so we did that, and then, you know, we would demo out all of our songs, you know, send them to friends, you know, hey, what do you think of this? It's just a very rough demo. You know, I send them to my brother before he was in the band. He'd tell me if he liked it or didn't like it, you know. So it's just a cool process. It was completely different from like how Guerrilla Warfare started, where we're just all working together, sweating in a room. Like, you know, Thor sending me music, I'm writing. Like, he's in Clarksville, I'm outside of Nashville. So we're just sending music. I'm going, okay, hey, I've got lyrics ready. I'll come up to Clarksville. We record in our studio, go through, listen to the demo for a bit, and then decide what we like, don't like, and then record it again, and then we send it to Edison at Mind and Mass Studios. He mixes and masters for us, and that's been our process. You know, we've just been writing the album for the last 2 years, and it's been great. You know, like got like 7 singles up now. The full length is out. The full length will be out digitally August 21st. We're gonna start, like, we've got a show August 14th. We just re-recorded Brave New World. I sent you the very first rough demo earlier today, so you got, you know, only a couple people have heard it, but yeah, we're gonna have a new version of that. You know, like, we recorded the demo, but we never went through that process of re-recording it and then having it mixed and mastered. So that's what we've got going on. Just, you know, focusing on, you know, we're still writing. Like, we're actually like 5-6 songs into our next album, and then we're going to be, you know, recording your I'm guessing it's going to be in the credits, correct?
Yeah, that's the idea. Yep.
Yeah, so we're gonna write a theme song. I've actually already, you know, you sent me the script. It's awesome, by the way. And I just, you know, for that, I just literally read through your script, you know, a few times, and kind of like wrote the song as I read through it. You know, kind of keep it in the timeline. But, you know, that was a lot of fun. Hadn't done anything like that before, so. Now I've just got to get Thor and Greg and Brett, you know, working on the music. They know the deadline, so we'll be working on that for you guys.
Very cool, man. I'm really looking forward to what you come up with. I mean, I've listened to the album a number of times already, and it doesn't sound like your first studio album. It sounds like, you know, your third or fourth album. It seems like, you know, everybody really comes together and clicks very well. And it sounds like the whole thing sounds, you know, super cohesive. You know, a lot of times, you know, band comes out with the first album and, you know, they still haven't really found their sound yet. You know, some of them sound, you know, a little off from the others, or, you know, it's sounding really good, man. So you got a good thing going, and
appreciate that. Yeah,
so,
we all, you know, we're, you know, kind of like a niche genre of music. It's not like a huge thing anymore, but that's not what it's about. Like we just want to make music that, like, it's probably sounds selfish, but we make it for us. We're not trying to people please. Other people like it, great. If not, well, hey, we're sometimes we are our own biggest fans. That's how it should be. It's like, why wouldn't you? Like, if you don't enjoy what you make, then why are you doing it? So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just a labor of love. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely have a really cool process of how we write music, and it's super laid back. I'm a father. Got 2 stepkids. Work full time, so it's like the band's just like the we're pushing it, obviously, but we're not obviously going on any world tours or anything. Like, we're content driven band. We're just hell bent on writing music, writing music with a message, writing music that will be relevant, especially to the
Yeah.
times that we're going through. And this kind of like how we're having a conversation earlier about like how important art in general, but like film, like indie films and short films and DIY bands, like bands that are doing what we're doing. Like, it's important for people to get their messages out, especially if they've got something to say, that may not necessarily be getting said, or people are not really paying attention to or ignoring. So
Right. At least not in the mainstream. And you touched on something really important there. Is you gotta find a balance. It's hard to be creative and juggle all these other things in your life and maintain focus. So that's really the key to keep everything in perspective, or things get neglected or you get burnt out, and you just have to focus on paying bills and get back to the grind. So keeping
yeah.
you all right?
Oh yeah. Got a frog in my throat, but we're okay now.
All right, don't want to lose you on stream.
Oh, we're
But
good.
I've kept you long enough. Thanks for being a part of this series of videos we're doing here. It's good to chat with you for a bit and hear a little bit of the story. And for everybody out there that's supporting, one of the perks for the Indiegogo campaign is to get a copy of the track that Brave New World is producing for the film, titled Bailout, along with some other things to be able to support the film. So appreciate it. Thanks for your consideration, and thanks, Matt.
And thank you. It was great catching up, and look forward to the film, and hope you like the song, and hope the crowd likes the song too, man.
Oh yeah,
So
I'm sure they will.
we're all excited, man. So
Hell
have a
yeah.
good night, bro.
Peace.
All right.